Welcome to the deep dive. We're here today to really dig into the sources you've gathered on, productivity, efficiency, scaling your business, and pull out those truths, the ones that maybe aren't so obvious, about what separates just being busy from being a strategic leader. And today's deep dive, we're calling it Why Working Harder is Actually Holding You Back. I mean, you know this feeling, right? You wake up, boom, the phone's already buzzing, the inbox is just overflowing, urgent requests flying in.
Yeah.
It feels like you've put out, I don't know, 17 different fires before you even get to lunch.
hmm
But then you look up, check those big goals for the quarter, and the business hasn't really budged.
A really common feeling, like constant exhaustion, and the data backs it up completely.
Ugh.
We're honestly in a burnout crisis.
Really?
Yeah, sources are showing 58% of small business owners are clocking over 50 hours a week. And get this, almost 1 in 5 are pushing past 60 hours.
60 hours, wow.
And this obsession with just raw hours, it's pushed entrepreneur burnout rates to, well, a shocking 72% in 2024.
That's 72%. That's
Yeah.
that's not sustainable. That's a serious red flag for your health, your sanity, and frankly, your bottom line.
Exactly.
And this is the core idea, the counterintuitive truth we really need to grapple with today. Working harder isn't the answer. It's actually the problem.
Right.
Every extra hour you sink into those daily low-value tasks, that's an hour you're stealing directly from strategy, from growth. So our mission today is pretty clear. We're going to map out how you can reclaim, say, 20, maybe even 30 hours a week just by learning to work smarter.
And to start, you really have to face what some call the midnight oil addiction. There's this deep-seated belief out there.
You see it everywhere.
Yeah, social media pushes it. Sometimes even successful peers push it. If you're not grinding constantly, you won't make it. More hours must equal more money.
It's the hustle culture trap, isn't it? You see these posts, people bragging about 80-hour weeks. It's like exhaustion is some kind of, I don't know, badge of honor now.
It is treated that way. But the science, the actual data, shows it's incredibly dangerous. Being exhausted leads to worse decisions. It kills your creativity.
Makes sense.
And it's directly feeding into that 34.4% number. That's the percentage of entrepreneurs reporting actual clinical burnout.
Okay, but hold on. People work long hours because they think it gets results. What's the catch?
Well, here's the critical statistic about that addiction. Even if you pull a 60-hour week, studies suggest only about 32% to 34% of that time, so less than 20 hours, actually drives meaningful business results.
Wait, only 30-something%? That seems incredibly low.
It is. And that's why we have to talk about your return on time invested, your RTI. If your RTI is low, working 12 hours instead of 8 isn't just inefficient, it's actively hindering your growth.
Okay, ROTI. So how do you even figure that out? Is there like a formula?
It's less a strict formula, more an ongoing way of looking at your work. You start by identifying, the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
What are the 20% of activities generating 80% of your revenue? High ROTI tasks are things directly tied to revenue sales calls. Closing deals, maybe developing a key new product feature, finding strategic partners.
Okay.
Low ROTI is, well, pretty much everything else. Admin, routine emails, organizing files, chasing down invoices. Necessary stuff, sure, but it's low leverage.
Yeah.
If you're spending 70% of your week on those low-leverage tasks, your ROTI is poor, no matter how many hours you put in.
That distinction helps a lot because you can feel incredibly busy doing that low ROTI stuff. That's what
Yeah.
you called productive busyness, right? Just confusing motion with progress.
Exactly. Feeling important because you cleared 100 emails, but you haven't moved one step closer to your big annual goals.
Yeah.
And that feeling, that constant reactivity, it comes from what we call energy leaks.
Energy leaks. Okay.
Yeah, think of your time and your mental energy like water in a bucket. Every time you do work someone else on your team should be doing, or every time you just react to whatever pops up instead of sticking to your plan, or every time you say yes to something you know you shouldn't. Those are like little holes draining your bucket. So the first step is really a kind of brutal energy leak audit to figure out where your focus is actually going.
And a lot of that drain starts because we mix up what feels urgent with what's actually important.
That is probably the single most critical distinction. Urgent tasks demand your attention right now.
Like the phone ringing off the hook.
Exactly. Or a sudden customer complaint, a supplier needing an immediate decision, those email notifications constantly pinging, they feel like they require an instant response.
Right.
Important tasks, though, they rarely feel urgent, but they're the foundation for your future success. Things like, sitting down to write your 3-year strategic plan or creating that new marketing funnel or proactively training your team so they can handle more.
Okay, I see the difference.
The problem is most business owners spend the vast majority of their time trapped in that urgent but not important quadrant, just reacting. And that leaves almost zero time or mental space for the truly important work that builds long-term value.
So we need to hunt down these time thieves that are hiding in plain sight, stealing not just minutes, but our best energy.
Precisely.
Like checking email constantly, every 10 minutes, instead of maybe just twice a day in focused blocks.
That's a huge one. Or attending meetings that have no clear agenda, no defined outcome. The ones where the conversation just wanders aimlessly.
And wastes everyone's time.
Exactly. 4 people's time, not just yours. Then there's the perfectionism trap.
Oh, yeah.
Spending hours tweaking a report or polishing a presentation that's already, frankly, good enough. That last 10% of polish. Often zero extra ROTI.
Guilty. And what about not delegating? Redoing work someone else could have done just because you think you can do it slightly better or faster?
That's another major time thief. Or the illusion of staying informed, reading every single industry blog post, every newsletter that hits your inbox.
Yeah, that feels productive, but it's passive and stops you from doing the actual deep work.
Right. So the absolute first step, non-negotiable, is awareness. You have to run what we call the 24-hour time track.
Okay, what's that involve?
For 1 full week, and this is key, without changing your behavior, yet you meticulously log every single task you do and exactly how long it takes. Brutal honesty is required.
Just track everything for a week.
Everything. And this is usually where the shock comes in. People are often floored to see, wow, I spend 2 hours every day just managing reactive emails. Or, I sit in 3 hours of meetings a week that could easily be 30-minute focused calls.
Ouch. Yeah, I can see how that would be eye-opening.
You need that raw data. You need to see where the time actually goes, not where you think it goes, before you can make any strategic shifts.
Okay, so once you've tracked the time, identified the leaks, the thieves, then we move into solutions, right? Buying back your time, starting with automation.
Exactly. Automation is essentially like hiring digital assistants, robots almost, to handle repetitive tasks, often while you sleep. It frees up your human brain power.
The impact seems potentially huge.
It really is. Surveys show employees think simple automation could save them around 240 hours a year. Business leaders often estimate it higher, maybe 360 hours.
That's like getting weeks back.
It is, and the amazing thing is the tools are often really affordable. We're talking $15, maybe $50 a month for many of these.
So, like, you could wake up on a Monday morning and maybe your weekend leads are already sorted in your CRM, invoices went out automatically, appointments are confirmed, all without you doing anything.
Precisely. Think simple examples. Calendly takes away all that back and forth scheduling emails and sends reminders automatically.
Use that one. Love it.
Right. Email marketing tools like ConvertKit or MailChimp can run entire automated welcome sequences for new leads. Social media schedulers like Buffer or Hootsuite post content consistently without you manually doing it every day.
Okay, so we automate the routine stuff. What tasks should we definitely look at automating?
Sending appointment confirmations and reminders. Creating and sending standard invoices, posting regular social media updates, chasing overdue payments. You can automate those reminders. Even basic digital file organization. Anything routine and rules-based is a good candidate.
Get the robots to do the robot work so your brain can do the human work, the higher ROTI stuff.
That's the goal.
Okay, automation makes sense. But now, the tougher one for many people, delegation, the art of letting go, as you called it. There's this real fear, right? The control paradox. Like, I know I need to delegate to grow, but the second I hand off a task, I feel like I'm losing control of a piece of my business.
It's a very common, very legitimate fear. But here's the mindset shift. Giving up control of individual tasks is actually how you maintain control of the overall business.
How so?
Well, if you insist on personally handling everything, the bookkeeping, the customer service emails, the scheduling menus, you become the bottleneck. The entire business relies on your limited hours. When you delegate effectively, the business keeps running, keeps growing, even when you step away for strategy or, dare I say, a vacation.
Okay, that reframing helps. But how do you push past that emotional hurdle?
We ground it in simple economics. Use the $200 hour rule. First step, calculate realistically what your time is worth financially.
How do you do that?
Take your target annual income, let's say $400,000, just as an example. Divide that by a standard work year, maybe 2,000 hours. That means your time is worth $200 per hour.
$200
Okay.
an hour. Okay.
That suddenly makes spending an hour formatting a spreadsheet feel really expensive.
Exactly. If you spend 2 hours a week doing basic bookkeeping yourself, that's $400 of your high-value time burned. You could hire a skilled virtual assistant offshore for maybe $7 to $20 an hour, or a US-based one for $25 to $45 an hour.
Right. If you're doing $45 an hour work with your $200 an hour brain, you are actively losing money and, more importantly, losing those irreplaceable strategic hours.
That calculation is a powerful mental filter. Okay, so for every task that comes across my desk, how do I decide? You mentioned the KDOG method.
Yes, KDOG. It's a simple framework to force clarity on what you should actually be doing. KDOG.
Okay, break it down. Let's use an example. Say, putting together the quarterly sales report and presentation.
Perfect example. So K is for keep. These are tasks that absolutely require your unique skills, your vision, or your authority. For the sales report, interpreting the data, deciding the strategic takeaway, what does this mean for our Q3 pricing strategy? That's a keep. Only you can do that effectively.
Got it. K is keep. What's D?
D is for delegate. These are routine operational tasks, compiling the raw sales data from the CRM, formatting the slides according to a template, maybe drafting the initial summary points based on criteria you set. Delegate that to a team member or a VA. It's necessary, but it's operational, not strategic.
To delegate. Makes sense. Then O.
O is for outsource. This is for specialized skills that your internal team doesn't have. Maybe you need really sophisticated data visualization for that sales report, or perhaps a legal review of a contract mentioned in the report. That goes to an external expert, a data analyst, a lawyer, an accountant.
Outsource for special skill.
Right.
And G.
G is for go, as in let it go, eliminate it entirely. These are tasks that, when you really look at them, add little to no real value. Maybe you spend an hour every week compiling detailed reports on 10 competitors' minor activities just to feel informed. Is that truly necessary? Probably not. That's a go. Just stop doing it.
Keep, delegate, outsource, go, KDOG. Okay, that turns it from feeling into function. I like that.
It provides structure for the decision.
So once we've used KDOG to clear out the low ROTI work, automated routines, delegated operations, we've got this reclaimed time. We have to make sure we use it effectively, right? Back to that 80-20 idea.
Absolutely. The 80-20 business revelation, as some call it.
Mm-hmm.
We know intellectually that 80% of our results tend to come from 20% of our efforts.
Okay.
But in practice, most business owners live the reverse. 80% of their time goes to the low-impact 20% activities. That's the real cost of hustle culture.
And we need to be crystal clear on the difference between revenue-generating tasks and revenue-supporting tasks.
Yes. Generating tasks have a direct line to the bank account. Closing a sale, raising your prices strategically, landing a major client, launching a profitable new service.
That's the 20%.
Often, yes. Supporting tasks are necessary, but don't directly create money. Filing paperwork, organizing your digital workspace, team admin, fixing the printer, important for function, but they don't generate revenue themselves.
And the key is flipping the typical ratio. Most owners get caught spending, 70% supporting, 30% generating?
Easily. Successful, scalable leaders flip that. They dedicate their best, most focused energy, their power hours, primarily to revenue generation.
Which brings us to the CEO hour.
Exactly. The CEO hour. This needs to be sacred time. Usually first thing in the morning when your energy and focus are highest. And it must be fiercely protected from all interruptions. This is your time to work on the business, not just in it.
Planning, strategizing.
Planning, competitive analysis, thinking deeply about market shifts, making those big picture, high ROTI decisions.
How do you protect it? Realistically, interruptions happen.
You need an active interruption defense system. You can't just hope people will respect your closed door or your busy status. You have to train them.
With specific phrases.
Yes. Clear, firm, but polite phrases. I'm in a scheduled focused work session right now. Can we connect at 2 p.m.? Or asking directly, is this a true emergency that can't wait, or can we address it this afternoon? You have to treat that CEO hour like the single most important, unbreakable appointment in your entire week. Because it is.
Okay, build a fortress around the CEO hour. Got it. But what about the rest of the day? We still have those supporting tasks. Those emails eventually need answers. How do we keep efficiency high outside that hour?
That's where we shift from protection to precision, using two key techniques, time blocking and batching.
Time block.
Time blocking is assigning every task, even small ones, a specific slot in your calendar. Instead of the to-do list, you have a time map. This prevents tasks from just mentally expanding to fill whatever time is available. Parkinson's law, right?
Work expands to fill the time allotted.
Yeah, time blocking contains it. And batching is grouping similar tasks together.
like we mentioned with email.
Exactly. Instead of checking email or Slack or social media every time a notification pops up, which demolishes focus, you batch it. Answer all emails at 11 a.m. and maybe again at 3 p.m. Make all your necessary return phone calls between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m.
Why is that so much better?
Because context switching is incredibly costly for your brain. Every time you switch from writing a proposal to answering an email to checking inventory, your brain loses momentum and efficiency. Batching minimizes those switches, keeping you in a similar cognitive mode for longer. The research shows it significantly boosts focus and cuts down wasted time.
Okay, this feels like a complete roadmap. Let's quickly recap the pillars. We start with demanding smarter work, focusing on that high RTI.
Right, then we build systems through automation to handle the routine.
Then we scale ourselves using delegation, guided by KBOG and that powerful $200-hour rule filter.
And finally, we protect and prioritize high-value focus with the sacred CEO hour and techniques like time blocking and batching.
4 clear pillars for transformation.
But implementation is absolutely everything. You
Fine.
can't just listen to this and hope things change. Sporadic enthusiasm won't cut it.
Needs a plan.
Exactly. We often recommend a structured 30-day time revolution plan, something like week 1, just do the 24-hour time track audit. Find and eliminate the obvious time wasters.
Okay.
Week 2, pick your top 1 or 2 biggest routine pains and set up automation for them. Get those systems running.
Makes sense.
Week 3, identify one significant task using KDOG that you can delegate or outsource. Make the handoff. Practice letting go.
Yeah.
And week 4, fully establish and defend that CEO hour.
Yeah.
Get it on the calendar, communicate the boundaries, and stick to it. Methodical implementation.
It's totally possible. Your business absolutely can grow, can thrive without consuming your entire life, your health, your relationships. That has to be the goal.
It should be.
But here's the final thought, maybe a bit provocative to leave you with. The reality is most business owners will hear this, nod along, agree with every concept,
Yeah.
and then do absolutely nothing differently tomorrow. They'll slide right back into the hustle trap, stay overwhelmed, and just become another burnout statistic.
It's unfortunately true. Information isn't transformation.
Yeah.
Action is.
So the challenge we're putting to you is this. Choose progress, however small, over waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. Start that 24-hour time track audit tomorrow morning. Start there. Because working smarter isn't just about building a bigger business. It's about designing a life where your business actually serves your goals, not the other way around. Don't just agree with this blueprint, actually go use it.